Hello everyone. Today we discuss about database triggers, SQL Server triggers. See, a trigger is nothing but it's a procedure. It's also nothing but a stored procedure, but a special kind of stored procedure. So these triggers they get executed automatically when certain action we take against database table. Okay, so what actions? There are two types of queries as we know. One is say select query, the other one is action query. Select query is going to select data from the database table. Using select command, we select data. In the same way, we perform like insertion of data, updation of data, deletion of data. That is called as action queries. So this is action DML query. This comes under DML, data manipulation language. So what we do, we insert data, we update data, we delete data. So these can be called as here action queries under DML. Okay. So whenever we perform these operations on database tables, the triggers can be firing for us automatically. So as far as DML triggers are concerned, basically we have two types in this. One is what after triggers, and one more thing is instead of triggers. We have after triggers, and other thing is instead of triggers. So these they work with the insert command, update command, and delete command. Okay, so these are basically, after triggers, and other one is instead of triggers. So as far as after triggers are concerned, they are going to be getting executed whenever we perform an insertion operation, an updation, or deletion. That means what? Once insertion is completed, the trigger can be firing. Similarly, once it is getting updated, trigger can be firing. Similarly, when you delete also, a trigger can fire, provided that you have written a trigger. So therefore, we have the triggers. If you take after triggers, after insertion, after updation, after deletion, they work. So these are called as here after triggers, after insertion, after updation, after deletion, they work. So these are called as actually after triggers. Okay. Similarly, we have instead of triggers. So these are going to be working actually as interceptor for anything that's anyone try to do on our table or view. So when somebody is trying to do with our table or with our view, so this is going to be intercepting such things. For example, if you define a trigger instead of trigger on a particular table for updation, so what happens exactly? They try to update the table or rows, but actually they will not be updated. Okay, so we need to give another update command in order to update. Like this, normally the instead of triggers they can be working as interceptors. Okay, we'll discuss in detail one after another. And one more kind of trigger is going to be, one more types of triggers are going to be DDL triggers. So the other kind of triggers are going to be DDL triggers. The earlier After triggers, a list of triggers are related to DML operations. But we have triggers like DDL triggers. So these are going to be triggering, these triggers we use to track database changes. Whenever there are any changes in the database, we can track with the help of the DDL triggers. Okay, so whenever you create a database or whenever you say you create a table, in such cases, normally these can be firing. So these triggers can be firing in such cases. So if we write those, they can be working. So mostly for auditing data, we can use it. For auditing data, we'll be using these triggers. These can be called as DDL triggers. We can call them as actually DDL triggers. So we can write DDL triggers also. And one more type of triggers are going to be logon triggers. We have one more type of trigger called as logon triggers. Okay. So okay, so this is a little bit complex. What we do, we discuss more about the logger triggers as well as DDL once we finish after and instead of triggers. Let us first start with the after triggers. Okay, so for that purpose, so here in the SQL Server triggers, as I told, one is what you have here, DML triggers. The second thing is DDL triggers. And third one is going to be here, logon triggers. These are going to be different types of triggers we can use. Most of the time, developers they bother about DML triggers. As I told you, in the DML, data manipulation language, there are three important commands: insertion, updation, and deletion. With them, the triggers are going to be working. Okay, so now here using the DML, data manipulation language triggers, so we can execute trigger automatically whenever we perform some operation against the database tables. So first of all, let us focus with the DML after trigger. So after triggers, we focus on that. In the case of triggers, what happens is, the triggers can automatically use some predefined tables. Only the triggers they are available. They are called as here. One is inserted table. One more is going to be here, deleted table. So we have like this. One is inserted table, other one is deleted table. These tables they contain only one row, because insertion at one time only one row. Similarly, deletion at one time one row. So when you create, whenever you insert some data into table, if you have any trigger in the trigger, you have a table called as inserted table. The inserted table is going to be available. It contains actually the data of the current row which is inserted. In the same manner, deleted. When you delete a row, it's going to contain the deleted row content in the deleted. These are called as, predefined tables. They are available only with the triggers. One is inserted, other one is deleted. So when you insert a row, inserted is available. When you delete a row, deleted is available. Fine. Similarly, when you update, both deleted as well as inserted is available. Updation is nothing but removing existing data, adding new data. Deleting existing data, adding new data, that is called as normally updation. So we have therefore inserted as well as deleted tables are available with the update, whereas inserted is available only with the insertion, deleted is available only with the delete operation. Okay, so here first of all we are going to look into after triggers. That means what? Once insertion is completed or deletion is completed or updation is completed, they are going to be firing. So depending on the trigger what you have written. Okay, as I told you previously, trigger is a special kind of stored procedure. It's a special kind of stored procedure. User cannot invoke it. User cannot execute straight away triggers. Other procedures and functions can be invoked by user, but as far as triggers are concerned, users cannot actually invoke it. Users, if they try to invoke, it's not possible to invoke. So whenever you perform some action against table, insertion, updation, deletion, in such cases, they can be firing. Okay, so in the case of after triggers, what happens? Once the command is completed, the trigger is going to be firing. But in the case of, say, in the case of finish of trigger, it's going to be interception, in fact. Okay, it's going to be interception. So therefore here you have a difference between the after trigger and other thing is instead of triggers. Now here let us try to first of all write few DML triggers, that is after trigger for insertion, for updation or deletion we write. So for that purpose what I do here, I create a table called as product. Okay, here I create a table called as product. Just see, in the case of product table, we have the columns. What columns are required? Product ID is required. Okay, this may be some integer data. Second thing is product name. This is going to be varchar of 100. Next thing is here product ID we had, product name we had, then other one is going to be here price. So in the case of price, what happens? This is going to be some float data. We can use float data here. Next, other one is going to be here. So what we use here? Price we use, float this is going to be. Next one, here we can use the cat ID or category ID. That means to which category this belongs. Fine. So this is going to be the product table. When you look at product table, consistently from time to time, what value changes in the product? So it is going to be price. Rest of the things they don't change at all. Because product ID is going to be always same. Product name does not change. Category ID also does not change because every product should belong to some category. But price can change from time to time. See this. The price is going to be changing from time to time. So therefore, we need to have therefore we require here the history table for the product. Why history table? What is the necessity of history table? See here, we should have a history table here. What is the reason why history table is required? Suppose you added a new product in recent times, say a month before you added a product. So at that time probably the cost was some 20 rupees or $20, whatever it is, some 20 units it is. Today, when you added on the day it is 20. Say within a week what happened? It has become some 30. So there was a change up to how much? 10. Okay. So then after that again what happened? 30 has become actually 25. After some 10 more days, once again price fell. It has become 25. So we need to have a track of history of the product table. That means price, how many times it has been changing. In the given year, for the given product, how price was fluctuating, we need to find out. So how can we find out that in such cases? Because if you look at price, whenever price is changing, probably you update. But where is the history of it? No way we are saving. So therefore here we require a table called as TBL, product history. Fine, this is going to be product history table in which we have here product history ID. Okay, this is going to be product history ID. In the same manner, we have here, say, product ID. This is going to be product ID, and here price you have followed by date of change. Date of change. On what date exactly this has been modified, we need to have. So need not be modification. First time insertion also should come here. First time insertion also should come here. So related to TBL product, whenever we enter a new, whenever we add a new product to the product ID, and whenever you add a new product to the product table, it should come in this table. Similarly, whenever the product price is changing, even in such cases, this must be getting affected. That means here you should have new price followed by and what date exactly that has been changing. So here you contain history information. We contain history information. But see, if the programmer has to enter into both tables, it is going to be really, little bit cumbersome activity. Okay, so instead of that, automatically what should happen, as soon as you change price there, it should be getting reflected in the product history table. It should happen whenever there is an insertion or whenever there is actually any updation, it should happen. Similarly, what should happen, suppose you remove product totally, concerned product you are going to be removing. So if you remove product, it should be totally getting deleted from the product history table. It should be totally removed from the history table. Since there is no product, if you have the information, there is no point in that. So if you delete the product totally from the product table, the history must be totally from history table, it must be deleted. Here's scenario you see. First thing is what? When you add a new product at the time, it must be added to the product table as well as it should go into product history table. This is the case one. In the second case, whenever you modify the price in the product table, it should be, appearing in the product history table. Similarly, whenever, just a minute. Hello. But just give me some 10-15 hours. 15 hours I will add some courses. 3 to 4 courses I will add. See, normally out of the lines you expect. So here this is going to be product history table in which we contain the history. And here, suppose you are removing totally product from product table. In such case, you don't require actually the product history table that in the table the product ID information. So they should be totally removed. So therefore, let us create first of all that concerned tables here. Now come to the same database yesterday in our last session what we were using. Retailer DB100. And if you look at the tables, we have here a table called as product as well as product history. Both of them are available for us here. You can look at the columns. What are the columns we have here? Product ID, product name, price and category ID. Similarly, if you come to product history, you can find here the columns as product history ID, product price and DOC, date of change. These are created like this. Do we have any triggers? Let us see on this. Are there any triggers? Let me find out from this. Do we have any triggers or not? Let us check actually. Triggers, when we expand, there are going to be triggers. One is what? product insertion, product update. We have like this. There are going to be two triggers. One is product insertion, other one is going to be here product update. So like this we have here. There are two triggers available for us as far as these two tables are concerned. Okay. So, but once again let us try to create here some other things. Retailer DB, if you expand, so there is nothing like that available here. Nothing is available for us. So yearly sales let us take, and when we expand tables, nothing is available here. So therefore what I do here in this yearly sales database, I can be adding here two different tables. So here how to write the DML triggers I demonstrate to you. Okay. Now here let me create such things. Here if you look at this, fine. Now here what I do in the yearly sales itself I am trying to make. The database is going to be yearly sales. Let me open here new query. Then here I am going to write as okay, or else what I do, I can just go with the deletion of this retailer DB, then I can create a new database. Okay, so here I'm going to delete it. I just delete the database. Once the database is deleted, with the same name, I can create one more thing. Now here, let me create a new database. Create database is a command. So create database, then write here retailer DB. This is going to be the database name. It's got exactly create database retailer DB is a database name. Just execute. With this is going to create a new database for us. A new database has been created. Fine. Next thing is what in this we require here three tables. Not these two tables, just you require one more table also called as TBL category. So in which we should have here a cat ID. Second thing is here what? A cat name. Similarly, we should have cat level. One more thing is super cat ID. Like this we require. These are going to be the columns. A cat ID, cat name, cat level, super cat ID. This is going to be a table, primary key table, and this is going to be foreign key table in which category ID is going to be here foreign key and here cat ID is primary key. You can have different names here category ID, here cat ID, you can have like this, no problem. But type of data must be same. With whatever primary key, foreign key you are linking, the type of data must be same. In the same manner, here if you come to this product ID integer, here also it must be integer product ID. Here also it must be integer type of data. So like this, we must be making it. Now create here the table TBL category table. Let me create here the table. Here write create table followed by TBL category. Put like this. This is going to be a category table. Here we put cat ID and this is int we write int. Okay, this is going to be int. Automatically it should be getting entered for us. Here write what exactly we write here, identity we write. And this is going to be how many categories at most we have? It may be around 900 or 800. 100 comma 1. This is okay. I don't want to make primary key at the column level. I want to make at the table level. That is fine. Next thing here, cat name followed by varchar of 100 up to 100 characters I want to put here. This I want to make as unique constraint. Okay, you can put this as here unique. Even the constraint you can define somewhere at the table level. In such cases, you can give your own name there. Okay, so anyhow you can put here unique, no problem here. Next thing is what? Cat name we have written, then followed by here I am trying to write one more thing, that is cat level. Cat level, this is here, short int we can put, or tiny int we can put it. This is going to be tiny int, and default is going to be here as 0. We take default value 0. When we don't enter anything, automatically it takes 0 there. Then similarly, supercat id. Supercat id, this is going to be here int. First of all, we had column names like this. Next thing what it is, we need to be adding both three constraints I would like to add. First thing is primary key, second thing is check constraint, and third one should be here the foreign key constraint. Let me add here now the constraints. So right here constraint, first thing is we require here the name of the constraint. What exactly that is? pk underscore cat id, like this I put. pk underscore cat id, then followed by the type of constraint we need to specify, primary key. pk underscore cat id, primary key constraint this is. So what is the column we want to make as primary key here? Cat id should be the primary key here. We made constraint pk underscore cat id, primary key, cat id we kept. Next is what here? Unique constraint is required. We need to go with the unique constraint. Here right, unique constraint already be specified there. Hello Rohan? Yes. Yeah, yes. So exactly, so many years of experience since 1990 and software. Around 20 years experience. See, I have experience and I have energy of to teach. See, don't think that I hate it. I have a lot of energy, anything my videos of anything that I share some videos with you. Because I have seen actually, I never the software industry of growing. I have seen actually how Java evolved to this stage. I have seen how .NET actually grew to this stage. How the web actually grew to this stage. I have seen it. So I know the in and out of all these things actually. I work with the DB and DB3 plus Lotus 1 to 3, and after I work with DB, then similarly with different types of language and tools I work with. Any opportunities? Any problem with this? So this is cat ID. This is going to be primary key. Followed by here, I would like to go with some check constraint. Then right here constraint. Okay, let us follow certain convention. In the case of primary key, we put pk. In the case of check constraint, let us keep ck. ck underscore followed by here, we say this as cat name. Then here write cat name. This is followed by here we put check. This is going to be check constraint, and here we write what exactly we should write: length of, and similarly trim of here. So we need to use actually ltrim. I can write this as ltrim of cat name greater than 0. It should be greater than 0. Okay, like this we should write here the constraint. Next thing is what here? We require one more bracket here. Another bracket is required here. Now all the errors they disappear. This is the third constraint we are using. Now let us come to the fourth constraint. Let us come to fourth constraint. The fourth constraint is going to be foreign key. Here put constraint say fk followed by here it is foreign key we have here foreign key. Then what do we put here? We put it as fk underscore. It is going to be say supercat id. Supercat id, then we write it as foreign key. This is going to be foreign key. What is the table we are going to access? Here it is supercat id we put. So what table this is going to be referring? It is going to refer the same table. References. What table that is going to be? It's going to be TBL category. Then here this must be cat id. Like this you can make. This is going to be what? TBL category. Like this we make actually a category table. Okay. Then after that execute this. Come on, executed here. Already you have in the database it says, because in the master table I am trying to create, because of that it could not be made. So we need to open immediately retailer database here. Right here use followed by retailer db. So without opening database I tried to create, so it was giving problem. Now here let us try to create. Go to this, then create the database. Database has been table has been created. After opening database we created now the table called as category table. Now here we require some kind of trigger on this. Why we require trigger? Let us see what is the problem we face with the TBL category. Okay, so let us try to put some data into the TBL category. Here write insert into TBL category. So in the explicit mode I am trying to enter. In the explicit mode I am trying to enter here. I cannot enter identity element. I should enter cat name. Only cat name I would like to enter here. Cat name followed by here values. I put like automotives. Like this I try to put. Like this I am trying to make. Here this is going to be a new row I am inserting. Now see data in this table here. Select star from TBL category. We put like this. We put like this TBL category. Now try to see data in the category table. It says 100 automotives, cat level 0, supercat id null. Like this we get it. So cat id is 100, cat name is automotives, cat level 0, supercat id null. Like this it is. Now see, since this is the top level category, cat level must be 0. So whenever supercat id is null, always it should be cat level should be 0. What is that? 7? Huh? Okay. So here I entered cat name only. Cat id is coming automatically here. 100 is getting entered because due to identity element. Now cat level is 0. Since supercat id is null, it should be always category level 0 because it is on the top level. Since there is no supercat id, it means what? It's a top level category. Remember like that. Since there is no supercat id, this should be what? Top level category. Cat level must be 0. Now here suppose I try to update it. If I update, I can write like this, update. See, here I am going to write update followed by, this is first problem I am showing you, update followed by here you write TBL category, then followed by write set cat level equal to, put some 10, here write where cat id we take like this, cat id equal to 100. What happens now? See with this, will it change or not? Let us see. Execute. One row affected message we are getting. Select star from TBL category. Cat level how it can be 10? This is not a good data. This is not meaningful data. Whenever supercat id is null, this should be only 0. But what is happening here? When it's not null, it's showing 10. This means it's wrong data. Try to understand this concept here. Cat name is automotives, cat level is 10, supercat id null. When supercat id is null, it means what? This is the top level category. You cannot have actually I mean, you cannot have here cat level as greater than 0. So it should be always 0. But what is happening in this? It is taking it as here 10. This is wrong. Similarly, what I do, I try to insert one more set of data. Insert into, I put like this. So insert into TBL category, followed by here, I would like to specify this way. First thing is cat name, I put cat name, then this is cat level, then other thing is here super cat ID. Okay, like this, then followed by values, I put like this. Then here I try to insert data into cat name. Cat name is what here? Engine oil. Like this I put engine oil it is. Then followed by category level, I want to put it as 1. Then super cat ID, what exactly that is 100, I want to keep here. So now if I insert data, what happens? See, insert. So what happens with this? This is becoming now wrong data again. So why this is becoming wrong data? I should not be in a position to enter this. I have entered 1 here, 1 is taking. Okay, so 1 is taken. Here cat level for the automotives when it is 10, this should be 11, but 1 is taken. So whatever you enter, it is taking. Similarly, now try to update. Set cat level equal to 10. Cat ID is, okay, cat ID is here 101. What happens? See. So here, if you execute, what's happening? Both of them are going to be at the same level. How they can be at same level? Because engine oil is nothing but a category of the automotives. So if it is at 10th level, this should be at 11th level. Like that we need to do it. But what is happening here? It is with 2 rows of data, I mean incorrect data we entered here. Some of the columns are not having meaningful data, valid data, they don't have there. First of all, automotives must be 0, cat level, and engine oil must be at level 1. Like that it must be. What is happening here? We don't have like that. So for automotives, category level must be 0, for engine oil, category level must be 1. But what is happening in this? It is taking both of them are taking 10. This is wrong. So user can enter in any manner. How to restrict it? Normally this restriction we can do with the help of the forms. Through some web interface, you may be entering data. At that time, this can be triggered. So what we do exactly? We can actually filter data. We can validate data when somebody is entering through the web forms or some web interface, or in some other means when you try to enter through the client. But here there is no such provision. We may not be having. We don't have any provision here in this. So we don't have any provision here. So therefore, what happens? You need to validate it. So how to validate? But you cannot just validate it. Here you can't validate. There is no provision. But with the help of triggers, you can correct such things. You can go with triggers. With the help of triggers, you can be correcting them. Let us do with the triggers now. Let us try to create a trigger for insertion, for updation. For both of them, let us try to make. Let us try to make actually the triggers. So here what we do exactly? For insertion, for updation, we try to define the triggers. So here now with the help of triggers the problem can be solved. Triggers are nothing but special stored procedures. They get fired whenever any insertion, updation or deletion are taking place. So these are called as after triggers. We are writing now after triggers, and that is going to be a DML trigger. Okay. Now here let me write create trigger followed by here create trigger. The trigger name is here. I can have a prefix called as TRG. Okay, TRG insert category. I write like this. Insert category. Like this I am trying to write here for category insertion a trigger. So TRG insert category I write like this. So for table name is what we need to specify like this. Create trigger, trigger name, followed by for what table you are doing you need to write. For TBL category, put like this. After what it is exactly insert. It is after insert then write here as This is what exactly as, then we write here, okay, why this is as, then followed by begin and end, like this we write here. Okay, sorry, on TBL category, not for, on TBL category, we write here after insert. So create trigger TRG insert category on TBL category after insert as begin end we write. In between begin and end blocks, you should write now the required code. The code is what exactly? Here we should be getting, first of all, okay, we need to take data from the existing table here. What table is available in the triggers? The inserted table is available in the case of insert, after insert. So in the case of delete, deleted table is available, and similarly if you go with the say updation, both deleted as well as inserted are available. But before that, let us declare variables. Declare here what are required for us. First of all, at cat id is required, int we put. Similarly, declare at cat level we put. That's going to be again int. This equal to 0 or int we just take here. We can take this as here. Int equal to 0 we can put here. Similarly, write declare at supercat id. So this is what int we take like this. So this way we have declared here three variables: cat id, cat level, then followed by cat id int equal to, let us keep this as -1. We are going to put this as actually -1 here. We are trying to write this as -1. Why I am writing -1? You understand later on. So -1 I have taken there. Now here even you can use this as tiny int also. If you want to use tiny int, you can use tiny int equal to -1. We use in that. Now let us try to retrieve data from the inserted table. Here write select at cat id equal to, write it as cat id. So this is what exactly cat id. Similarly, write here cat level equal to, write it as, this is going to be what exactly, cat level equal to, we write this one as here. Okay, so first of all what we do, we try to take like this. Here write select at cat id equal to, what do we write here, cat id. Similarly, write here at supercat id equal to, we write as here, at supercat id equal to, we write it as here supercat id from inserted. From that table we try to retrieve data. We are going to retrieve data from the inserted table. So here we use cat id as well as supercat id. We are going to use them. Okay, we are going to use that way. Here we write if condition, we are going to write here. What exactly we write here? If, write here at supercat id if at supercat id is not null, then in such cases what exactly we do? We try to retrieve the from category table for the given supercat id, what is the cat level we try to find out. Then right here select at cat level equal to, here I try to get data from the category table, that is going to be cat level from TBL category where cat id equal to at supercat id. Like this we take it. This way we are going to be taking it. And here write set no count on. We put even this one. Set no count on, we are going to be setting that message there. So what we do here, we are trying to retrieve the cat level of the supercat id. Supercat id, whatever cat level is there, that we are trying to select. Now here write update. What exactly we do? Update TBL category. Set, here write cat level equal to, what we write here, at cat level plus 1. From, what is the table? Sorry, I mean cat level plus 1, where we write here cat id equal to at cat id. Like this we write it. So this way we can write the trigger. Ultimately we are going to update it. This is the code. With the help of this, it should work for us. Select it and check for the syntax. After that, execute. So we have executed this. This is for what? For insertion of data. When you want to insert at the time, this is fine. In the same manner, see, both with insertion and with updation we have seen problems. Even for updation also, let us try to write. Let us try to write for the updation also now in this. Okay, now here let us try to update. Now here write once again, same thing we write here. Same thing we are going to write here. Take it this way. Then here update category we put. After update, this must be after update. So same code, there is no change in that. Same code it is, only name is changing here. TRG, update category and TBL category. After update, we do it. Now here, just execute. What will happen? See again. Execute it. So let us go to this particular data and try to insert. Update TBL category, set cat level equal to 10, where cat ID equal to 101. When you put, this becomes 11. Now see in this. This is going to be becoming 11 here in this. If you look at the table here, what happens? This is going to be showing you 10, 10 like this. So if it is 10, it should be 11 here. So therefore, for 101, it should become 11. Let us try to see this. What happens? So tiny int value equal to -1. Therefore, what happens in this? It is unable to take anything. It says here. Okay, so why that is so? Cat level tiny int equal to -1 we are taking here. Line number 7 that is. In the line number 7, okay, so go to this and try to see the data. We have cat level as 10 here. Supercat ID is null, I mean like that much we have. So therefore try to make this one as, instead of using here, let us try to modify here, let us try to alter the trigger. So alter trigger here, let us try to alter the trigger, go to this, then execute. And here also this must be alter. Here also we try to alter this. But when we alter, we did not change it to some int. Int equal to, put it as -1. Even here also try to make this as int equal to -1. So we have updated, but properly we haven't changed it. Now execute this. And here also we try to execute. Now here, this time select star from TBL category. You see here 10, 10 like this we get. Okay. Now here, first of all, we need to change it. We need to change actually the output use 10. So try to change here. Cat level equal to 10, cat ID equal to 100. Let us set. What will happen with that? Let us see here in this. one row affected message we are getting here. It says one row affected. Now look at the table here in this. How much value we have here? For cat level 0. We are trying to set 10, but it will not take 10. It's going to take only 0. Because here in the code what is written, we have written this as, and in cat level int equal to -1 we are setting. So it is trying to retrieve data from the inserted table. From inserted table, it's trying to retrieve data. So therefore, what will happen for the supercat ID? It's going to be null only. So since it is null, what will happen? It's going to be using just cat level as -1. -1 plus 1 is going to be 0. Like this we get. Now similarly here, what we do here in this, whenever we try to update, we are trying to update here, keep 101. Now with this, it is going to be updating with the, here, this time you have 2, 1. For the category level is going to be 1. So like this, what is happening? It is actually modifying the cat level. Cat level is getting modified here with 0 and 1. So like this, here we use 2 triggers. One is what? Insert category, other one is update category. These two are triggers. With the help of that, we have corrected data. Now if you try to enter in the wrong manner data, it will not accept. So here in the automotives, for example, now I try to insert one more data. Cat level I enter here, say bearing, like this I put here, followed by try to write here something like 10, followed by this is 100 only I enter. What will happen for this C? Insert it to TBL category, cat name, comma cat level, supercat ID, category name is bearing we kept here, cat level I want to make 10 and this is going to be 100. So category level must be how much for us? It should be 1, because 100 is going to be what? Top level category, whose cat level is 0. So this bearing is going to be subcategory under 100. For that you should have therefore 1. Select and execute this. When you select and execute, what happens? See now. So go to the select statement and try to once again see the data. Now this has been corrected. Bearing is having here category level as 1. So this way we added 2 triggers. First trigger is what? Insert category. Second thing is update category. So these we have written. This is called as DML trigger here. We have written 2 triggers. One is what? Insert category trigger. Other one is update category trigger. With the help of this, we try to enter correct category level here. If you try to tamper with category level, now that will not happen. So reason we made it actually to work in the proper manner. So cat level is 0 and engine oil cat level is 1, bearing is going to be cat level 1, because these are categories under automotives. These are subcategories under automotives. So therefore, if the supercat ID is 100, its level is going to be 1. Similarly for bearings also supercat ID is 100, therefore cat level is going to be 1. So like this here, what is happening? It's getting updated automatically. Cat level is getting updated. We had 0, 1, 1, like this. This has been updated here. So this is what these two are what exactly triggers. One is insert category, other one is here update category. We have here 2 different triggers, TRG insert category, TRG update category. They are working on the category table. Now let us here refresh. Databases, let us refresh in this. The database name is what here for us? Retailer DB. Under retailer DB we find it. Go to the tables. Here we have a TBL category. Under this we have triggers. There are 2 triggers, insert trigger, other one is update insert category, other one is update category. These 2 are going to be triggers. And what are the columns we have in this? Cat ID, cat name, cat level, supercat ID. And what keys we have in this? One is primary key, other one is foreign key, one more is going to be unique constraint. So like this here, there are keys. You have here total 3 keys. So this way what is happening here? We could write trigger. On the category table, we have written the triggers. So in next session, I'll show you how to write triggers with the product table and product history with the, say, after triggers only, insertion and updation. One more we see in next session. Thank you.